Hello, and as always, thank you for joining me. It is a snowy December 12th here, and I'm taking just a few minutes to think about balance as I reflect on this year and really even just the activities around the last several weeks. I find myself wanting to get it all done, wanting to run around and talk to everybody and see everybody and be in the joy of the holidays and do all the activities and get all the things done and plan the things that are coming. And it's a lot. And at the same time, I find myself exhausted and going, what am I doing wrong? And it's too much of this and not enough that. And I just am sitting around and judging and overthinking and feeling tired and feeling like I need to do more. And I stopped and I've asked myself, where's the balance? You're always going to have to give something to life. And so, what do you need that to look like? If you spend your whole day running around getting things done, are you able to create a balance in the evening where you can relax and unwind and let things go and maybe notice the things that you weren't able to notice when you were moving so fast? Maybe as we practice this, we get better at being more present in the moment and we're able to slow down a little bit and go, yes, this needs to be done, but not at 100 miles an hour. Yes, this is something we need to navigate. Is being anxious or frustrated helpful right now? Is my reaction to this situation creating a better solution or a bigger problem? I'm finding that it's in these moments where we create this balance, not where we look at what went wrong or what went right exclusively and say, I'm never doing that again, and I'm never doing that again, and I'm going to do this again and again and again because it seems to be working, but it still is not quite finding me what I'm looking for, but it's better than it was, and so I'm going to keep trying it. And we just create a lot of chaos. And if we those words did not want to come out. Let's try that again. If instead we take a moment and say, that was exhausting, and I'm very, very tired, and I'm going to rest. But makes it seem like needing the rest is insignificant. But is one of those things that just seems to cancel things out. I'm very tired, and yet I really enjoyed that time. It was worth being exhausted for. But now is a time to nurture myself and rejuvenate myself so that I don't carry that exhaustion with me into the next thing, into the next activity. How do I create balance? Ultimately, obviously, the goal is to be able to do that in each present moment. But it is a practice, and we have been practicing imbalance for a very long time. And we have ran from one extreme to the other and judged things as good and bad and just had to put labels all over everything. And it's going to take a while to unwind all that. And so if we can be patient with ourselves as we gently find this balance, the balance that says, I really didn't like that, but I really did like this. And so is this worth that to me? And sometimes the answer is going to be absolutely without question. I would be willing to sacrifice 1,000,000 times over to experience that thing. And sometimes the answer is going to be absolutely not. Why am I creating that experience? This is what's important. Getting to the place where we recognize the behavior, the choices, the thinking, the beliefs, and then being able to ask ourselves, do we want to continue to focus in that direction, to invest our energy? And if so, why? What makes it worth it? And if not, why not? And how do we feel about having spent time investing in that thing? And can we let go of any old emotions or unforgiveness or confusion that we may hold around having not done better or not known better or whatever the case may be? It's always about noticing what's working, noticing what isn't working, and then beginning to ask ourselves some questions. Where's the balance? How can I achieve the things that I want to? So I want to give you an example of this from my own life before I wrap up. Since my early 20s, my dream is to own an RV and travel across the country, seeing the sights, meeting people, having adventures, doing new things, learning new things. I genuinely want that more than maybe I've ever wanted anything. And yet, what I've discovered about myself in the last 5 years is that everything that requires absolutely pushes me so far outside of my comfort zone that I don't know how to function. And so, what do you do about that? I think what most people do is they just say, just must not be for me. And then there are the other people who go, well, what am I going to do about that? And I've decided to try to be one of those people. I'm going to take that word try out. I have decided to invest in being one of those people. And so over the last several years, I have taken small trips, and I have learned to drive bigger vehicles, and I have gotten better at handling things when I get lost or when something unexpected happens. I've gotten better at planning. I've got better at knowing what's important and what's not important. I've got really good at meeting myself in those moments where I'm uncertain and I'm uncomfortable and I want to fall apart and I want to call someone to come save me from where I'm lost at. Or I've been able to take a breath and use the tools around me and calm my thinking and calm my body in a way that takes me out of that fight or flight and allows me to go, okay, instead of freaking out and melting down and having a panic attack right now, I'm going to take some deep breaths and I'm going to notice what the challenge is, and I'm going to meet that challenge in the best way that I can. And I'm going to consider the tools that are available to me and the resources that are available to me. And I'm going to ask myself, how do I best use all of this in a way that helps me to solve the problem rather than creating a bigger problem? And so that has allowed me to build some resilience and to gain hope that within the next several years, I will have the confidence and the resources and the ability to get in my RV and just drive, trusting that no matter what the challenges are ahead, I will be able to face them in a balanced way that doesn't create suffering, and that allows me to adventure into the life of my dreams. I hope that some of this babble makes sense to you and that it helps you on your way and helps you to listen to some of the things that might be stirring inside of you this time of year. The 1212 portal opens our heart space and helps us to begin to embrace things that we hadn't in the past. Helps us to begin to surround our fear in love and to nurture those fears in a way that helps us to move past them, or to at the very least begin to work with them. And so I send you many blessings. I send you love, and I send you hope as you trust yourself to open your heart to the life of your dreams. Namaste.